Happy Tuesday evening, February 22nd, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday evening, so let's begin. First up, we're going to begin with a look at the weather. As you all know, we had a nor'easter that came through New Hampshire, and I believe the snow is gone, hopefully. But with more on that weather forecast and how the weather will be like tonight, let's go to meteorologist Tim Breslin with that weather forecast.
Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Timothy Breslin. Let's get started. A strong nor'easter is looping its grip on New Hampshire with a much weaker system in focus for Friday afternoon. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with an early evening snow in northern New Hampshire, giving way to flurries. Elsewhere, it will be mostly dry with a snow shower possible by morning. Wednesday will have clouds and limited breaks with scattered snow showers possible. The sun makes an approach for a fall on Thursday. The next system likely brings some light snow by Friday p.m. Saturday will be bright and breezy. Then big question for Sunday as a strong coastal storm will develop to our south. Computer guidance is split on the track, with some taking the storm out to sea while another one brings it close enough to snow. We will have a much better feel for that storm track by late Wednesday into Thursday. Stay tuned. Now back to Riley.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Breslin, for that weather report. And now we're gonna talk about closing delays. Currently, that number is 540 closing and delays right now. And now let's take a look at your traffic for this evening. Let's see how the traffic is shaping up for this Tuesday evening. And here's a look at the traffic map for this Tuesday evening. As you can see in Henniker, you're seeing some smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Hopkinton, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Bow, Pembroke, and Concord, all smooth sailing with a little bit of medium-paced traffic. Boscawen, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Chichester, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Epsom, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Northwood, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Lee, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. And Durham, smooth sailing with medium-paced traffic. Rochester, Somersworth, Dover, into Portsmouth, smooth sailing with medium-paced traffic. In Portsmouth, smooth sailing. And along the main border, smooth sailing with medium-paced traffic as well. Rye, Northampton, Hampton, Seabrook, into the border, Massachusetts, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. And we got a road closure due to an incident on New Hampshire 1A Ocean Boulevard northbound from New Hampshire 111 Atlantic Avenue and Central Road. And on 101, all smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Around the Manchester and Hooksett area, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Around the Manchester Airport, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Bedford, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. And Amherst and Milford, smooth sailing with medium-paced traffic. Manchester, Merrimack, Nashua, into the border of Massachusetts, all smooth sailing with little spots of medium-paced traffic. Nashua, Milford, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Manchester, Derry, Windham, Salem into the border, Massachusetts, all smooth sailing. And we have an accident on New Hampshire 28 Rockingham Road at Melody Lane. And that is a look at your traffic map this evening. And here's a look at your Rockingham at Salem, Rockingham, Toyota in Salem, New Hampshire, Route 28. As you can see, a few cars, and looks like the roadways are a little shiny. There could be possible black ice on those roadways this evening. So if you are traveling or driving on the roads, take it extra slow. Could be a little slick out there for refreezing and anything like that. Otherwise, that is a look at your traffic this evening. And now, let's get into your news. First up, let's take a look at your COVID-19 updates. COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. Let's take a look at that right now. And here's a look at that for all of you right now. There are 6,348 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 26,384,829 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 1,066 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 202 current number of hospitalizations for COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 419 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And here's a look at this lovely map of New Hampshire, where current cases of COVID-19 are. Nashua, 388. And let's take a look at this lovely map of New Hampshire, where total cases of COVID-19 are. Nashua, 5,823. And let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, new hospitalization. And red, deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases. Orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple. Total positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, total hospitalization. Red, deaths. And blue, recovered. Let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate. Positive PCR and antigen test rate, and daily PCR test. And let's take a look at this chart here. Age group cases and female and male of cases. And let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percentage of population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Cleanup continues in much of New Hampshire after storm dumps foot of snow. Snowfall across northern New Hampshire for most of Tuesday. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Good afternoon. We're going to give you a live look at the Everett Turnpike right here. You can see that there are some spots in the road, maybe a little bit of moisture remains, but the snow has been removed from the highway, and that's a big improvement from the overnight and early morning hours. Now, plow crews across the state worked through the night to keep the roads clear. New Hampshire DOT had over 600 pieces of equipment on the state roads, 300 from the state, 334 from contract trucks. Now, the state says that traffic was extremely light overnight and into the morning as people heeded the warnings and stayed home. Now, that allowed the plows to do their jobs, although some secondary roads you still might find a little bit of snow on some of those. Now, while much of the snow has moved out, the DOT is concerned about the possibility of freezing rain later today.
The temperatures right now are good, but worried about the combination of that precipitation along with freezing temperatures could create slick roadways later.
Now, as you take a live look at the Everett, once again, the DOT is asking everyone to keep their speeds down because the conditions on the highway could change at a moment's notice. Reporting live in Bedford, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Northeastern caused minor flooding at coastline. Barge breaks free in Rye. Hampton had multiple flooding bouts in recent weeks. Let's take a listen to that video. And let's hear that rough ocean hitting the side border in Rye and Hampton.
Reliability is at the heart of everything we do. And that's especially true this time of year.
Okay, did you see how rough that ocean water was? Oh my gosh. Very rough indeed. Water from the Atlantic Ocean flooded streets in Hampton during both high tides that occurred Tuesday as nor'easter pulled through the region. Ocean Boulevard was temporarily closed Tuesday in Hampton because high surf at the beach during high tide. Some flooding was seen early Tuesday morning in the area of Johnson Avenue in Riverview Terrace. A local user said she has seen flooding in the area 5 times since December. Take a look at this video. This is from that local user. Take a look.
Over time, the flue tiles inside your chimney may become damaged from water, age, or even a chimney fire, which could lead to dangerous toxins inside your home. When that happens, you need to have a new stainless steel liner installed. This ensures that all the smoke and soot from your fireplace, stove, or boiler will stay contained until it reaches the top of your chimney. If you need a new liner, contact Caesar Chimney Service today by calling 603-518-5773 or go to fixmyflue.com.
Wow, look at this flooding from this local user. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Right in Hampton, New Hampshire. Look at that flooding, everyone. Would not want to deal with that. I would not want to deal with that. Holy cow. Just crazy what happens along the beach and coastline. A coastal flood warning was issued for the seacoast for 2:30 p.m. High tide and WRSR minor flooding and some splash over in Hampton at times. And Rye Ocean Boulevard was temporarily closed at Washington Road and at Harbor Road. Central Road, meanwhile, was also closed at South Road. In addition, a platform barge broke from its mooring in Rye Harbor on Tuesday. Crews with the U.S. Coast Guard, Rye Fire Department, Rye Police were working Tuesday afternoon to keep the barge in the harbor. Frustration for Granite Staters trying to book second vaccination dose. State officials say the website's problem should be resolved by the end of the day. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
Well, Sean.
We build Ford Edge, EcoSport, and Escape with available driver assist features. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
You know, this morning at 8 o'clock, anyone who has had their first dose and needs to schedule a second dose appointment or move a current second dose appointment to a date closer to that 21 to 28 day window is supposed to be able to log on and make it happen. But the state's acknowledging it has not started and continued on as planned. According to the person in charge of vaccine distribution, the CDC VAMS website went down, had glitches, so the sites here in New Hampshire couldn't be seen. Some people canceling their second appointment only to find further options, the options even further out or none available at all. Others were given sites in Connecticut. Now, Plummer says not to worry. They are working on the issue and asking for patience. Sites are updating as we speak and should be fully up and available by the end of the day. People will be able to book or rebook the second dose. He says it's not like the issues with dose one's rollout because this time it's not so competitive.
We know how many people need dose 2. We have the doses, so that's the main thing. And we have the appointments available. It's just a matter of connecting that technology. So we're advising for anybody, don't cancel your appointment at this point. But if you have, it's really not a big deal. You're going to be able to go in and get that appointment at appropriate time. And we still are committed to giving everybody their second dose within 7 days of when they're due.
Now, the state's 211 line has also been jammed with waits of at least 45 minutes, and Plummer emphasizes that 211 can't fix this problem. They're working on it, and it should be resolved within 24 hours. But in the meantime, News 9 is hearing from a lot of frustrated people. We're live in Portsmouth. Jennifer Crompton, WNUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. A lot of frustration, people. Police looking for thieves who stole a dirt bike from a Portsmouth showroom. 3 dirt bikes stolen early Monday morning. Take a look at this video and footage.
We build Expedition, Explore, and Escape with Ford Copilot 360. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
As you can see in this footage here, these are the dirt bike burglars that stole 3 dirt bikes from a Portsmouth showroom. Oh my gosh, wow. Look at them taking the dirt bikes out of this showroom store. And they have a pickup truck, as you can see in this footage here. They stole 3 dirt bikes and put them in the back of the pickup truck. Wow. And now, Portsmouth police are asking for your help. Police in Portsmouth are searching for the people who stole the dirt bikes from the Motor Bikes Plus showroom early Monday morning. 4 people pulled up in a Ford F-150 truck to the back door of the store about 2:40 a.m., police said. Surveillance video. See the full video above. That is what we were watching. Shows the thieves breaking into the business, taking 4 dirt bikes from the showroom. They loaded the 3 of the bikes onto the truck's bed before fleeing. Police said one of the bikes was left in the parking lot. Police said the truck appears to be two-tone, possibly green over silver, with 2 stickers in the rear window. Anyone with information is asked to call Detective Peter Sheldon at 603-610-7609 or submit anonymous tip through Seacoast Crime Stoppers at 603-431-1199. And now let's take a look at the U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Tuesday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closing in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closing in the green and went up. S&P 500 closing in the green and went up. Gold closing in the green and went up. Oil closing in the green and went up. U.S. 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed in the red and went down. And VIX closed in the red and went down. And that is a look at your stock market. Biden meets with GOP senators on COVID-19 relief. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
We're going to go to the White House now, and President Biden's push for fast passage of a major COVID relief package. He met at the White House last night with a group of Republican senators proposing a plan that's only one-third the size of the president's nearly $2 trillion legislation. Our chief White House correspondent Cecilia Vega has the latest on where things stand. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hi, George. Good morning to you. After that meeting, both sides agree on this. While there is some area of common ground, the areas of difference are still huge. And while Democrats say they could end up going at this alone without Republican support, this morning Republicans are saying if they cannot reach a bipartisan agreement on this, that does not bode well for the next 4 years. The Oval Office meeting went longer than expected, 2 full hours.
Until I come back in the Senate.
And when they emerged, the group of Republican senators sounded encouraged.
I think it was an excellent meeting.
They called it a success. They called it productive. But they did not say they reached an actual deal.
I wouldn't say that we came together on a package tonight. No one expected that in a 2-hour meeting.
In a statement, the White House press secretary said that while there were areas of agreement, there were also many areas which the Republican senators' proposal does not address. Adding President Biden will not settle for a package that fails to meet the moment. Those areas of agreement, $160 billion for vaccines and testing, and help for small businesses. But the Biden administration wants $1,400 checks for most Americans, Republicans want to limit them to $1,000 for lower income earners. And the biggest hurdle of all, President Biden's nearly $2 trillion price tag. Republicans want to limit it to $618 billion. Democrats already signaling they have the votes to move on without Republican support.
It makes no sense to pinch pennies when so many Americans are struggling.
While Republicans are hinting at the fight to come. Now today, President Biden will sign a series of actions based on immigration. The first one targets the Trump administration's controversial family separations policy. They will create a task force that tries to reunite these potentially hundreds of children who still remain separated from their families. But George, they say this was so bungled, they still don't have an exact tally of how many kids we are talking about. And they're also not making any promises to give any kind of legal status to these families that have been separated.
Right, and they're trying to strike a balance here. On the one hand, they want to reverse President Trump's immigration policies with these executive actions, but they don't want a flood of new immigrants coming to the borders right now.
Yeah, exactly. They are also going to look at the Trump administration's policy on asylum seekers and people who are being forced to wait in Mexico as their cases are being reviewed. We're talking about tens of thousands of people in some potentially pretty dangerous cities in the southern hemisphere. But these orders today mandate a review of Trump policies, George. Immigration advocates were hoping for something much stronger.
Cecilia, thanks very much.
Well, hey,
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night and goodbye, everyone.